chefs, and welcome to another one of our savory videos. Now today I'm really excited about our recipe. We are making a vegan sushi bake, and this has been blowing up all over TikTok. But Vegan Gastronomy is doing our special spin on this. We're using a couple, actually two products that we sell here through Vegan Gastronomy, and then we're also using one of our favorite suppliers, a cream cheese from Violife, which is provided by Upfield. So I want to get straight into it because I know you're going to want to make this because it's so easy and it's so delicious and low cost. You know, I know a lot of people say, I really want to make things that are healthy for my family, but they're also quick, because right now people don't have a lot of time. So with this recipe, I'm going to show you how you can make something that tastes like sushi, but you don't have to spend a lot of time rolling. You don't need to have a special tatami mat. It's much simpler. You can slice it and serve it and get right to putting it in your belly. Normally with sushi, like I mentioned, you have to use the tatami mats and roll them, and it's really labor intensive, and it also takes a little bit of skill. But what we're going to do today, rather than using rice in those rolls or even in a hand roll, all you're going to need to do is get a loaf pan or any size pan you like, and then you just want to put, to make it really easy to get it out, put some baking paper in there. Now I have used sushi rice. Now this is cooked, and then I've seasoned it. It's all in the recipe, and then it's been cooled, and I just filled it up. I filled this up about this far, so it's about maybe 1.5 inches. I mean, that's about 3 to 4 centimeters, okay? You can make, if you like a lot of rice, put more, and if you like less rice, put less. Now this recipe is almost like, think of it like a Japanese lasagna. So we're just making about 3 different layers. We're not repeating any of them. So the first layer is the rice. Now the second layer is actually going to be a combination of some chopped up seaweed and some toasted sesame seeds. And actually in Japanese, that's called something. That's called furikake. There's also a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar in here. So we're just going to make this our second layer and pop this straight on top of our rice. So all you want to do is take the toasted sesame seeds. I like toasted. Look, you can use raw, but I think it's much nicer to use the toasted. And you want to put that in a fine layer, so you want to cover completely all of your rice. This is going to be protecting the rice visually and also prevent the top layer from seeping through. And the top layer is where all the good stuff is going to be. Look, I do like rice, but I'm a big fan of like the sauce and the mix-ins and all that other great stuff. So you want to make sure you get that all covered. And now we're going to put on our third and final layer. Now, of course, when you think sushi, we often think of protein and we think of fish. We're going to be replacing fish with jackfruit. And look at how fish-like that looks. It almost looks like lump crab meat, right? So this is just this is young jackfruit, of course, in brine. And I have tipped off the water, and I've just chopped that up so you can see for scale, that's how it looks. I've just made it small, and you want to get a bowl and just pop that in a bowl. This is 1 full can here. It's pretty much a standard size, so it's a 300-gram can, and then you can just, like I said, tip off all that water. Now, here comes first ingredient that I talked to you about. This is our new bacon seasoning, and it absolutely tastes like bacon. Now, I'm just gonna be sprinkling a little bit on because a little bit goes a long way. In the world of food, all over the world, people love things that are smoked. And that's one of the reasons that bacon is so traditionally popular, because it has that smoky flavor and quotient. And so we're going to be getting this in, we're going to be making like a smoked vegan sushi bake with our bacon seasoning. Now we do sell this, and it is a dry powder, as you can see, and I'm just mixing in a little. You can put in as little or as much as you like Just continue to build it up. You can't take it away, so just go sparingly. This will last you a very long time, and you can use it in a variety of applications. Think anything. You can put it in pancakes, pretzels, put it on into your stews, it makes into bolognese. You can put it into cheeses. It can literally go into anything where you would have a baked or smoky flavor. So remember I mentioned how I love, this is the top layer of our sushi bake. So of course we have our protein of our jackfruit here, our fish, and I've made it smoky. So now in addition to that, this is where you can literally use any leftovers you have. Now I'm gonna be using some scallions for some flavor and some color. If you don't like onions, just use something else or you can leave them out. I'm also putting in some cucumber. That's very typical, right, of sushi rolls, California rolls. And then for some heat, I am putting in some sriracha. If you don't like heat, you can leave it out. And then in here, this is another bit of great flavoring that's really gonna amp up the flavor profile. There's some sesame oil. And that's gonna complement the toasted sesame seeds that are in that middle layer. Remember the middle layer of our bake? Yep. So now, the last thing I'm gonna add, oh, two more things. I also have for some color and some interesting sweet flavor in here. This is roasted red pepper. Now you don't have to make this yourself. You just buy this in the jar or in the can and then chop it up, slice it, and it's super duper fine. So we can mix this up. So like I was saying, you can literally use any veg you like. You can totally customize this to what you like, whether it be avocado or, my gosh, broccoli, I don't care. Put in anything you like. Now we're gonna make this even creamier because creamier is more filling, add some more fat. You know, jackfruit basically has no fat in it. We only put a teeny weeny bit of sesame oil, so we need to get some fat in here to stick to our mouths and make this more lush and more decadent. So I am going to be using the Veal Life cream cheese today, and this is fantastic. You can find this readily available around the world. And I did make this recipe that you just have to use one whole container, so I'm not even measuring this. This is one actual whole container. We're going to pop this straight in here and mix this away. Oh, it has such a good flavor. I keep saying I need to develop smell-o-vision. It's not going to happen, but I don't know. Maybe that'll be the new TikTok, smell-o-talk or something like that. I just want to mix this up. And again, you can totally customize this. Whoops, somebody go overboard. And I like to make this even a little bit more decadent and more creamy. And to do that, and this is very common because the cream cheese is a little bit more dense, but I really like to layer the flavors and layer the creaminess. So I'm going to be adding about 3 or 4 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Of course, it's vegan. Now we make this with another product that I mentioned earlier that we sell. This is called Potato Protein 300. And so this is, yes, made from potatoes, completely allergy-free. There is in addition, no allergens. This has a much longer shelf life. Chefs, this mayonnaise, look at how thick that is. Look, it's not runny. It's fantastic. I just made this, and this literally will keep for a week or 2 or 3 in the refrigerator, provided you have it sealed properly, not one day like traditional homemade mayo that chefs I know can't stand it. We've trained chefs all over the world. They hate making mayonnaise. I know they have to buy it, and then when they don't use it, they end up throwing it out. So it's a real drag. So look at how creamy and lush this is. And this is now our top decadent layer. See how the red pepper really pops in there. And all I'm gonna do is pop this on top. So I just wanna make a nice top layer here. And you do wanna be fairly forceful and push your top layer down. Think of loaf. Think of, remember, it's almost like a Japanese lasagna. You will have a little bit of extra. You can always test this. Of course, season it for salt. You want to make it spicier, you can add more sriracha or less. Totally your call. And now we're going to pop this in the oven and bake this for about 15 to 25 minutes. We just want this all to gel and to set, and then we're going to be cooling it. So there is our sushi bake. So now, chefs, I've just removed this from the oven. See, I got a little bit of nice browning on the outside. Now I'm going to let this cool down to room temperature and then pop it in the fridge so we can get some nice slices. So remember, chefs, in this recipe I use 3 specialty products. 2 of them you can see, we do have links below in the comment section. They come from our sister company called Free From That. It's part of Vegan Gastronomy. So one of those is the Potato Protein 300. Remember, that was used to make the mayonnaise. So easy, so fast. And if you want to learn how to make this in class, we do teach this in our vegan cuisine, or what we call our level 1 class. We make this into a lot of derivative sauces like tartar sauce, honey mustard mayonnaise, ranch, aioli. We have so many sauces, like a rosemary sauce if you're from Ireland. It's so versatile. And we also use this to make things like meringues, and it's used in a variety of applications. So don't be without your 300. This is our new bacon seasoning. Now, this has been decanted or put into a glass container because we don't even have the packaging. It's brand new. So I promise you it's coming soon. You'll be able to get it very, very soon. And we'll have a link below in the comments so you can get this. And last but not least, remember, this is one of our companies we love is ViaLife, and you can get this around the world in many grocery stores. If you can't, also put something in the comments below and we'll help you source this, because that's one of our specialties, is that we help our students as well as our friends around the world source ingredients. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and continue watching all our videos. So in order to finish off this dish, you do need to get a couple of items that you think of when you're making sushi. So you want to get some basic nori sheets. Remember, we're not going to be rolling these into sushi, but you do still have to get some nori sushi sheets. They're easily available. So get yourself some scissors as well. And then we're going to be doing a little bit of decorating. Now, I do have some black sesame seeds. You could use those toasted sesame seeds like we put into the middle layer, whatever you like, but I happen to have some black. And then I saved just a little bit of the scallion, the cucumber, as well as the roasted red pepper. And then I love heat, because those who know me know that I'm a spicy chica. So I have some sriracha, but these things are just gonna top off our sushi bake and make them easily pop in the mouth. So now, chefs, we're almost to the very end. So remember, I have cooled this, and now I'm ready to take it out of my pan. So now, remember, this is the reason that we put on our baking paper. We're just gonna slide that out easily. So now you can actually see the 3 layers. So this is, of course, on the bottom, the sushi rice. Then we have just a teeny weeny bit of our seaweed. So the sushi rice, the seaweed with the toasted sesame, and then on top, of course, all of our delicious goodness, the jackfruit, the cream cheese, the mayo, and then all of your chosen veggies. So now you're going to gently slice each one of these. Now, then that's why we want to cool this down. You can make them any size you like, but I like about a centimeter. In a gentle sawing motion. Always have a clean, sharp knife. And then now we're going to finish this off. Remember, we're going to still be using our nori sheets. So all you want to do is cut this, because this is still a little bit too big. So I like to cut this one even more in half. Be gentle. Mine didn't set up completely, but you can make sure it's the perfect coldness. And then now we're going to cut these. We cut this to fit this. So all I'm going to do, I put this on the edge because I want to see it, and I'm going to bring it up. I want to bring it up to the side. So you fit one side and then the other, and then now you just use your scissors. So here we have our little sushi bake. Boom. And what's nice is the wetness of the mayonnaise and the cream cheese helps stick our nori sheets to our little sushi bake. I'll just do one more for you. But it's so, it's so easy and they look beautiful when you have them all on a plate. So remember, just always have a nice sharp knife, go gently, and then you just want to take whatever size you like. Again, it's your choice as to what size you make. Just put the nori sheet, cut it to size on the outside of your sushi bake. So now, don't those look lovely? They're really beautiful, but we're really gonna kick them up a notch and even take it to the next level. Remember, we reserved a little bit of our fillings. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of more color on here. You can put some more of any of the fillings. I like to put a little bit, remember we talked about putting some of these sesame seeds on top, just for a little bit more color, contrast. And don't forget a little more heat, just some more sriracha. But it's not required. I'll do too hot and too not. There you go. So there we have our vegan tuna sushi bakes. And remember, chefs, you can customize these any way you like with any vegetables you have on hand. And remember, you can use the mayonnaise. You can either learn how to make it here at our school or you can buy it. And then in here, of course, we have that bacon flavoring to make it really smoky and add more layers of flavor. There's the jackfruit in here, and don't forget, there's the VLA cream cheese. If you want to learn how to make cream cheese, we do teach that in our online as well as in-person cheese course. But now, I'm gonna stop talking and get some of this in my belly. You can make this ahead of time, and then these are great for lunch, beach, picnics, anywhere. So good. Sushi, no rolling, delicious.